Thursday, everyone. Welcome into the
stop for a second there.
I did have to
remind yourself what the day was.
Oh, it all blends together sometimes. Welcome into the PHNX Rising Podcast. It's your boy, Max Simpson, and I'm joined by a man who did not hit his Europa League parlay, Mr. Owain Evans.
Well, I didn't bet on the Europa League, so yeah.
All I'm hearing is you didn't hit it because you didn't bet on it, but I did, and I won the money. Oh yeah.
Beers are on Max this weekend.
Well, no, don't you turn this on me.
He's won these bets, so beers are on Max.
Yeah. If you can find me in person, sure, beers on me. There you go.
Oh God, there we go.
Yeah, of
Jacob,
course.
Clip that one, please.
Wait, no. That is
this is going all over social media.
No,
He's buying your beers at the game on Saturday.
Valid.
Congratulations, everybody. Well done. You found the cash cow.
Shoot, can't wait to go incognito. Anyway, appreciate everyone joining us in the chat. Already seeing Mikey on the comment of this reminder to not take betting advice from one Owain Evans. Very smart man. I clearly did not. That's why I won my money. Devin, nice to see you. Of course, it is the...
He bets on the front of shirts.
Yes,
sponsors.
of course. It is the OJ and Simpson show. Love to see it, Devin. Thank you for that. Pat, of course, told us to put all our money on SAC. Now my kids can't go to college. What are you doing, man? You're preventing kids from going to college? You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't care about the kids. All right. Owen just said F them kids. Apparently, Harry in the chat. All right. On the way to PHX. Appreciate you, Harry. Reese, of course, sir. Got you there. But hey, I can spend all day talking about the accolades for myself, but we got a lot to talk to. Probably should move on here. Rising, Owen, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but we do have a match on Saturday.
Really, Max?
We do. Thank you, Producer Jacob. I don't think anyone heard Producer Jacob, or if you did, you probably tuned him out. But he said, absolutely, Max, you're a very smart man. We do have a match on Saturday. It is against Hartford Athletic. And, really, if there was a game where you see on the schedule and you're like, man, Rising had not a great performance against Tampa Bay Rowdies. If only there were an opponent to bounce back against, I think you'd draw a pretty darn good one if you're facing Hartford.
Yeah. I mean, look, you look at the teams that have struggled this year overall. I'd say Hartford are one of them. The other one big time is Detroit.
Yep.
The difference here is that Hartford are conceding a lot of goals. Detroit are not.
Hemorrhaging goals.
And I think that's the difference here is that Phoenix Rising has been struggling in front of goal. You wouldn't want to face Detroit because Detroit would possibly keep a clean sheet against you. Draw 0-0. They're not really going to threaten you. Mm-mm. But the difference here is that Hartford are hemorrhaging goals at the moment.
Yeah, it is not ideal. I mean, right now, just to give you guys a little bit of context, Hartford is tied for the worst goal differential in the league with Orange County. They have the, joint worst record in the league, worst in the East for sure. They sit at 5 points after 8 matches played. And they also have given up the second most amount of goals, second only to Birmingham Legion, which is just so weird. And if that doesn't just tell you how absolutely backwards, topsy-turvy this season has been, Hartford Athletic...
It tells you this league is nuts. This league is utterly nuts.
Hartford Athletic, bottom of the East with 17 goals conceded. Birmingham Legion, 18 goals conceded. They are second in the East. Make it make sense.
You can't.
You're making it make sense.
You can't.
It's
you
nuts.
can't make it make sense.
No.
But there we have it. Hartford, the second most goals conceded in the league.
Yeah, well, hopefully that carries over. And again, Rising really could use that kind of attacking performance. It's something that I think they just have, like we keep on saying, I feel every single Thursday or every single show right before this is before the game is my word, man. Like there's just such a lack of consistency. And I think you have to, if you have any opponent, especially when you're at home, knowing how Rising has played at home, how they have ridden their unbeaten streak. That has to make you feel good, especially when you see this team. You never want to take anyone lightly, but at least it means you got to go on the front foot. And that doesn't just mean from a possession standpoint. My word, take some shots, push up into the attacking third, actually have some sustained pressure on what you're doing, and vary it up a bit because this is the opponent to do it.
You got to do something in the final third.
Yeah.
And Juan's actually said, some of that. Actually, you know what? Let's actually listen to that. Let's listen to what Juan had to say about the focus this week in training.
for this week, we have focused a lot on the things that we need to improve, but also on the things that we're doing well, and also finding the ability to make sure that we can measure progress where it is needed. And we've been working a lot on the final third and being able to sustain possession in the opponent's half, but with being very dynamic with movements and aggressive runs and playing balls behind the opposition's back line. So that's something that we want to look for in the game on Saturday, especially playing at home. And the guys have responded very well to that. So little by little, I see the group keeps growing. I obviously, like I said before, disappointed about the result last week, but this group is very strong mentally. They understand the responsibility that we have, and I'm looking forward to see how they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's varying up the approach. It is making those runs in behind. It's getting more out of not just your forwards, but your entire team as a whole. And that comes from all different levels. You really have to vary up the approach, especially what we have seen, or rather what we haven't seen after these past couple of matches. I mean, I see Mike in the chat. If you're a forward, move. If you are in attacking position, like, make runs off the ball. It's the little things that we just haven't seen a lot of consistency from.
Yeah, I think that's something that, look, when we talk about Rising, we talk about that last game, and I know we were speaking about the fact that, look, they took more crosses in that game than they had in the previous two combined. Something actually I asked Juan about, and he said that, look, it was not really necessarily in the game plan. That's not really what they plan to do, but at the same time, you know, they get into those positions. You can't afford to only have one guy in there, two guys in there. He admitted that, yeah, they weren't having people in the right spaces, the right number of people in there to challenge for those kind of crosses. And so that causes problems. Look, you've got to be better prepared. Will Uzo be back? I'm not expecting it, BJ, in there. It's possible, but I haven't been told no specifically, but I'm not expecting him to be back. I'm not expecting Mo to be available, to be honest, either, for this game. So... Oh. Yeah, Rising's really, again, back down to bare bones as ever. And we'll have to see how they come out in the way that they've got. Yeah, I mean, at least there's some good news. There's hope that Gabby, that Emmy could be back in training as of next week. Emil Cuejo still out. That one concerning, I think, by just how much that's turned into a longer-term injury. But, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I'm also seeing this in the chat, right? Pat brings up a point. I don't care about possession in the attacking half. How about working on finishing in the final half? And I do agree with him that, like, hey, it is about the finishing. But the point about possession is we have seen this team dominate possession, but it's in the wrong areas. He says they don't care about possession in the attacking half. I argue it's rarely in that final attacking third. The possession is usually anywhere from the midway line to across the back, deep in their own half. You need to get the shots, yes, and work on finishing, but that only comes from getting more chances in your attacking third, putting the defense under pressure consistently, and that will lead to more shots, which should help with the finishing. Listen, if you are getting a sniff of 3, 4, 5 shots a game, that's not good enough. That's what we saw from this team last match, that we saw them not take a shot in the last half hour. If you have that, I understand you have to work on your finishing. Maybe you only get a certain handful of chances, but your odds of winning and scoring dramatically improve if you keep that possession high up the pitch and you're able to actually turn it into attacking chances. So to me, it's not a case of one or the other. It's both, and that starts from building up in your attacking press. I
will say there's one other question there about Trejo, Danny Trejo, healthy enough to start. I'll say this, I have no concerns about Danny Trejo's fitness at this point. So I have no concerns about Danny Trejo's fitness.
No, and I think it's tough where he couldn't make the difference on the score sheet in their last match against Tampa Bay Rowdies, but I mean, even the movement stuff, he
put the ball in the back of the net. He was just offside.
He did, yes. Yes. I mean, listen, the entire team, again, was off from an attacking standpoint. He certainly wasn't at his best, but like, I did not see any indication of like why he wouldn't be healthy enough to start at the least play significant role, but I think
no reason to believe he won't start.
I'd imagine he would.
He won't be fit enough to start the next game.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be interesting how they bounce back. We talked a bit, on Tuesday, and really it seems like every single show about the attack. Again, no surprise with this one. The thing that kind of needs to be shored up a bit, or at least kind of talk about, is the performance against Tampa Bay Rowdies. Really, it was in the defense, something that we haven't seen. Is there anything you saw kind of thinking further where that can improve upon? And are there any worry signs against this team in Hartford, especially given that, we'll talk about a bit, they have quite a bit of speed.
They do have speed. Prince Saydee is going to be that speedy guy. We should probably talk about him a bit.
We will. No, of course. And I mean, I think it's something where, especially the type of way that they play, it very much is a bunch of, I would say it's a lot of build up in the half spaces, a bunch of guys who, listen, they have a guy who has speed, Prince Saydee, 8 matches, 4 goals, 3 assists, not doing as much as he can to help with that goal differential, but my word, he can put on the afterburners when needed. And this team really does, it seems like they're able and very comfortable playing in the middle of the middle third of the field, but really they use those outsides often in the wingers.
Yeah, they do. And so I think from Phoenix Rising's perspective, there's also just got to be that bit of awareness. We saw them concede a headed goal last game. If they're going to use wide areas, just don't give them an opportunity to find someone in the area.
Yeah.
Just don't. You've got to stick with your man. You've got to mark tightly. You've got to be smart in those moments. Because we saw, in that last game, you don't do that early on. It was, 10 minutes into the game? Yeah. Not even quite that.
Yeah.
You lose a guy in the area, you're done for.
Absolutely. I'm seeing BJ's comment, Gallardo will have to have a good match then. It's something where he has been, I guess in the last show on Tuesday, he was apparently a little bit under fire by some of the chat that he needs to have a more consistent performance. I think it's something where regardless on whether he's starting or what kind of difference he's playing, it's going to be interesting. But I think we also have to see, right, on based on really how he is fitness wise, for sure.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Well, especially seeing how people have to make a difference, it's really telling how we can make a difference. How our friends
Adman's
can make a difference
again
in what we do. And that's thank you to our friends at OG's Brands. I'm not sure if you have heard of them, but people like to say that, sometimes a mixed bag is not really a good thing. Well, I like to say a mixed bag is quite good because they have their new creams and fruits. That's right. The
He's
fruits
in his element
have
right now.
Watermelon, peach, and apple.
Look
and then
at
the creams
smile on
have
this guy's
blackberries
face.
and cream, orange creamsicle, and peaches and cream. That's right. My man Snoop Doggy Dog likes peaches and cream. He's going to love the OGs. So check out OGs at OGEEZbrands.com to find them at a local dispensary near you. And oh, by the way, coming out with the new pink lemonade flavor, June 21st, first day of summer. What up? Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
Don't encourage him
so
in the
creative.
chat.
Oh, thank
He's
you.
not.
Let's highlight that on
He's
screen.
not.
I can't wait. We're going to clip this. Oh, man, it's going to go everywhere. It might be my pinned tweet now. Who knows? But I absolutely love it. And yes, we love our friends at OG's Brands. I guess when I'm so creative, I guess you might say I'm peaking just like our friends at Four Peaks. Here we go, baby. Check out our friends at Four Peaks Brew and at Four Peaks Pub on Instagram. They have all kinds of great things going on. This is actually the end of their Teachers Appreciation Week. It started earlier this week. It goes through tomorrow. Thank you, teacher, and nominate them to win grants, Four Peaks swag, and a grand prize of a custom makeover of their teacher's lounge at their school. I'm not saying that beer helps the schools, but I'm also not saying that. So go to fourpeaksforteachers.org to nominate a teacher or to donate, help the kids, drink some beer, all that stuff. But of course, you must be 21 years or older to drink Four Peaks responsibly.
I'm just sitting here wondering how much Jacob will shout at me if I just yank the XLR out of
I don't know.
mic,
He's kind of gone both ways. He's giving a face a is the Jacob face like
It's the classic soft smile that I'm famous for.
Really?
It's like you don't know if I'm about to go crazy on you or if I'm actually just kind.
I've honestly seen both sides, and it really is quite telling. But hey, gosh. Well, speaking of
football talk.
Speaking of definitely a differentiating performance, not always knowing what you're gonna get. It is kind of interesting how we predict this team that we're going to be facing in Hartford Athletic. I think we mentioned Prince Saydee, and he is really a fantastic shout. It's a tough for a team that concedes as often as they do. And I do think this is a game that, Rising should win, that they should be licking their chops for. You can't get lulled to sleep based on that from a goal scoring perspective. They do have some cohesive attackers on their team.
They do. One guy that we'll mention, let's toss him in now, Antoine Hoppener. I know he's a guy that you're quite familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, he was in Reno. We were both in Reno for a handful of years. One guy was playing on pitch and one guy, wasn't. We're not going to say who was who.
It wasn't a pitch in Reno either. To be fair.
Also that
there was grass.
There was grass. There was some other.
I wouldn't call it a football pitch.
There was some other thing, maybe a diamond, an infield in the way. No, but on the real, he was a player who, when he was in Reno, very much was not a number 9 per se, but almost in a way kind of a hybrid false 9, number 10 of a guy who he got the ball often. He kept the attack going through him. He won, a couple. Oh gosh, there's an infamous call of where, good people, baseball announcers, they called it a walk-off, where he literally scored a goal at the death. It was quite the call. I definitely remember, that goal vividly, but regardless, he's a player who he has risen to the occasion, and really this point in his career, he really is that facilitating type of playmaker, puts the ball in, crosses it in. He hasn't really scored, at will this season, but he definitely is that dangerous type of attacking threat, and he's a guy who he can link up play. I think that's something where, especially when you have a speed, and especially where you have Prince Saydee, a guy who can threaten in behind, that's going to be very telling. I will say the one thing about Antoine Hoppener, I thought he was a very nice guy. I had no problem with him, but my word, for those who know, if you remember the clip against, when they were St. Louis City back in 2018, oh my word, the infamous double meeting coming to the heads and double flop is absolutely iconic. I will have to share it later when I can find it on Twitter, but it is legendary. But yes, what a guy.
Indeed. He currently has the second most chances created on that team with 10. First place was 12, which is who? Who do you think? Who do you think leads that team in chances created?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've taken it away from you. Work it out.
Well, now that I know, go ahead.
Who do you think it might be?
I mean, who it might be?
You think it might be? It's Prince Saydee. We've already spoken about him.
Oh, I thought you were teasing me about another player. Okay.
No, I'm not teasing you about another player.
We've already talked about him.
I know, but I just thought that I'd make the point that there's another one there. I mean, someone else. I mean, if you want to talk about anyone else, defender-wise, you got Niall Logue.
Yeah.
Who's very good in the air. I mean, this is a guy who, when you actually look at his aerial duel statistics, 17 aerial duels, he's won 14 of them.
Okay. That's fair. Well, where do we see Rising, trying to break this team down, right? Like we say, we keep mentioning that they've given up goals, second most in the league. Where do we think they are going to be vulnerable?
Where do you think they're going to be vulnerable?
Yeah.
Probably conceding goals.
I mean,
like they have all year.
Well, yeah. Oh boy. Well, okay. We can actually get a bit more specifically of where in the pitch they're going to be, a bit more vulnerable. Well, seeing the attack, this actually leads into it. We do have a graphic of showcasing their attacking thirds against Birmingham Legion, right? This was there to give reference. While this wasn't their last match, this was their last away match. And I think it also is good for clarity that, Rising has also played Birmingham Legion, so it gives a bit of continuity there. But all that being said, they really like to attack down the wings, attack down the side, specifically on that right-hand side. Especially, regardless who Rising rolls with, we know that Rising very much emphasizes their wingbacks, and that's going to be very telling where if we know that's how Hartford is going down those channels, it's going to be a point of emphasis that those wingbacks are going to have to put in a shift, get forward, get back, but then also that area can be exposed, a very good opportunity for countering.
Yeah, it can be. That was something. I mean, you looked at that, and they were quite heavy on the right hand side. JCL Saydee on that side as well. He actually scored in that game against Legion. So, yeah, I think they could well attack down that way more. But when you look at other things as well, I don't know. It's an interesting one. The midfield's a little bit different setup. Mm-hmm. They still still play with that kind of back three almost. So it's interesting. They've definitely got a way of they can keep those numbers back if they wanted. But I don't know. Don't think they'll play that.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, also let's take a look at the goals they scored against Birmingham Legion, because again, it kind of illustrates they do like to play right in a bit of these half spaces. You see the first one.
Look how quick both of these goals were.
It is.
Though.
It's a couple passes in the middle, bang, 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 and then a little bit of dribbling, boom, shoot. Again, you see that on the left hand one, ball played out from the keeper, a little bit of build up in the middle, a little bit of dribbling. Again, that's where the speed comes in. Goals in the back of the net. Second goal on the right hand side. Again in looks to be, it doesn't look like an interception necessarily. Free kick taken, thank you. Little bit of pass to in the midfield, and then my word, they're just going. Like, again, these are, 5 pass sequences? The second one especially coming from a free kick. Like, that's first one coming from a goal kick, second one coming from a free kick. These are things where Rising has to be careful, especially against a team who has pace, who likes to kind of lull you to sleep in the midfield and then go from there. Yeah. It happens quick.
It does.
Well,
we talk about the other one to watch though here, which isn't a Hartford player.
Well, okay, yes, you did like to cue this up. I'll let you go ahead. Take it from here.
Let's talk about JJ Bilinski. JJ Bilinski will have the whistle for the game tomorrow. It will be his first USL Championship game since 2021. 2021, he made an error that was so bad that USL, in conjunction with PRO and the IFAB, turned around and said, we're going to replay the game from the 67th minute. In that game, what happened, it was a free kick, kind of pass to another defender then passes it backwards, keeper completely misses it, ends up in the net, he gives a corner kick, which would actually be the correct call if it had gone directly back from the free kick. You can't score an own goal on the free kick. You know that, Max? You can't score an own goal from a free kick. Did you know that?
Of course.
You definitely didn't, did you?
I'm not ref, bro.
It would result in the corner if that was to be the case. What they effectively dumped him. He didn't referee any professional games last year. And he came back this year. He's done a few games in League One, Next Pro, a couple of Open Cup games, and now he's back in the Championship.
Sorry, did you say he literally made a mistake so bad that they had to replay a game?
Part of it. They flew the team back down from Pittsburgh and restarted from the moment of the error.
Bro, you should never see a field again if that's the case.
That's a tough one.
I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
They flew a team down there to play a 25-minute game from Pittsburgh to Miami.
And both teams agreed. Like, if you're the team that got screwed over by the call, like
they were the ones complaining big time to the league.
So the other one, like, you're like, this sucks. That's wild. Sorry, that was just baffling.
No. That's I kind of just like processed that, and that really is that's pretty epic. Like how much of a collapse. I mean, honestly, like that takes talent for that much of a calamitous situation. My word.
It does. And I mean, there's a whole lot of discussion that went all around that time.
Pro. Yeah.
But I'll say this: in the professional games that he's been working this year, he's had a low of 5 that actually came in midweek. He refereed the Open Cup game between Inter Miami and Charleston, and a high of 11 cards to average out at just over 8 cards a game.
Are you saying
he likes his cards?
Hearing that, he likes cards.
His cards.
He likes cards. Rising likes to receive cards.
Yep.
It's almost like you're saying that Rising is going to get through this match completely scot-free with 0 cards.
Absolutely
is what I'm hearing.
No.
Oh, I misinterpreted that completely.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Quick snap decision again on the spot. How many cards does Rising get this match?
6.
Yeah. Okay. Chad, let us know. More or less, or at 6. Please let us know as we're going forward. But no, I
will add in here actually. There's one more bit of insight into the referee. He's also from Florida, so if you wanted to refer to him as Florida Man in the context of all of the utterly calamitous error,
I do like that.
You could actually do so.
I do like Florida Man. I don't like Florida Man. I like referring to him as Florida Man. That could be a decisive moment in this match. But going up to Bendito's Bluebirds, comment, who will create the chances for Rising on Saturday?
That's JJ Bilinski now.
To which Mikey replies, our center back or center defensive mid, they have seemed to create quite a bit of chances so far, but is there an X factor? Is there an X factor that we haven't seen that maybe can play a bigger role? Do we think it's going to be the usual?
We haven't seen Fede step up in a league game this year.
Yeah.
He's got the capability. He's got the ability. We've seen it in preseason. We've seen from his pedigree of the clubs that he's played for coming into here that he is capable of being a creative player, of doing those kind of things. He hasn't shown it yet. He needs to step up. He really, really needs to step up in this system, because if you've got Fede Varela playing with the ability that we believe that he has, then you have a completely different looking Phoenix Rising team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you hope naturally your crew and a squad is going to be playing better at home. We've seen this in the past for Rising over the course of the season, and it's not just in the scoreline, it's even reflective in the attacking effort at times. It's, can they create a sustained performance where it doesn't wait until, the second half or even the 30th, 40th minute to actually get something going. And then after you have that first goal or that first genuine chance or whatever, keep going after it, because we've seen it either takes too long to get going, or the team puts in a goal or two like we saw against Loudoun, and then a very unfortunate own goal right before half, and then suddenly you open the second half, it's just stifled again. Like, we hope getting at home and going back to the crowd, going back to the South End, this will help to shake things up, to really galvanize them for this match.
You would hope so. But it galvanizes them in the right way. It doesn't get them up for this game too much. It doesn't get them in a position whereby they are going to make silly mistakes and get themselves into trouble, because again, with this referee, you can't afford to get into trouble. And that's actually, before we forget now, we did actually hear a little bit from Juan about the issue of dealing with discipline in the team. Let's have a listen to that.
I agree with you. Discipline's been an issue. We've addressed it, and I hope that we don't see that ever again. We must understand who we're representing and the way we want to do things, and this is definitely not the way that we want to do things, and the boys understand that, and hopefully it's not going to repeat again. For us, it doesn't matter who the referee is. We have to make sure that we're solid and that we do a good job and that we're disciplined in every single match. So yes, according to this referee, for us it doesn't make a difference. We just have to make sure that we're disciplined and that we follow the game plan, and that we don't get unnecessary yellow cards or red cards. We want to finish the game with 11 men, and we have to make sure that we put together a strong performance that leads to a good result at home.
I mean, when a manager has to say finishing the game with 11 players, that it speaks volumes. And I really hope it's not Mikey's comment of over 10 cards in the first half. Let's hope it's not that.
I'd hope not.
I mean, it is the balance. It is a fine line, especially when you're at home. And again, it seems like the discipline has been certainly better when they are at home. Of, you want to get up this game, you want to get jacked, especially against this team. You lick your chops and really go after it. But I mean, like, you can't go nuts. And what was it now? 3 reds in 4 matches? That's crazy. Like, that's an absurd amount of form. That's nuts.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. you're smiling in the camera. Yeah. Is this a sigh? Gritting your teeth? I got you. Well, man, hopefully it improves. It's something that the team doesn't have to dwell on. I don't want you to grit your teeth, because if you're gritting your teeth, you won't be able to enjoy a Circle K Polar Pop, baby. That's right. You need an open mouth hole for that one if you're enjoying Circle K. We love that. Circle K, they're hitting you with all of the good. And especially right now, if you text PHNX to 31310, you get BOGO. That's buy one, get one free Polar Pops. You know what's better than one Polar Pop, Owen? Double the Polar Pops. Double the refreshment. It's,
there we go. He
let's
finished
go.
The thought because I wasn't on his wavelength.
We loved Polar Pops again. Super easy. If you haven't already done so, literally text PHNX to 31310 for BOGO Polar Pops. There's a lot of you in the chat. Why would you not want free Polar Pops? Do it now. Help me out. They're going to look good. And then also, we want to shout out our friends at Valley Tap Room. We have played trivia with them every Tuesday at 6:30 is when they have it. We have played trivia once before. Want to make a showing again. We'll get into this a bit, but especially, we're going to be having a free Tuesday, really next week. So it really depends. Might be able to make that one. Do you think, buddy?
Not sure.
Well, we'll keep you guys informed, but
he'll be there buying beers.
I will, if you guys come out, maybe I'll buy you beer. Maybe. Do not clip that. But yes, we love our friends at Valley Tap Room, all kinds of the good stuff. Again, check them out at Valley Tap Room on Instagram and visit them in person off of the 202 and Gilbert for all the delicious things they have going on. All right, buddy. We actually did not get to this in the last segment. What do you have for a score prediction?
Score.
Chat, please. By the way, chime in as well.
2-1 to Phoenix.
2-1 Phoenix. Interesting. Do you have like, is it going to be like a nervy, 2-goal scored? Are they going to are they just going to score early and then, kind of hold on to it? Is it going to be a late winner? What do you think? You got that?
2-0 up and they'll concede one.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to go 2-0, and then they won't concede one. It's going to be 2-0. It's going to be 2-0. It's a dominant performance. I'm going to see a clean sheet. Take it to the bank. Again, my track record, pretty darn good right now. But yeah, that's what I got, 2-0. Chat, I'm not seeing it. There we go. The chat. 3-1, says Mikey.
People are confident
BJ,
here.
3-1. Okay. I mean, you think we've seen a Loudon performance, apparently, of a repeat on that. Reese, 3-2. Oh, whatever Max says, we all put bets on. If Matt, shoot, nope. You had me in the first half.
Yes.
You had me in the first half. Not gonna lie. Okay, a 1-0 Rising win. I like that.
1-0
respectable.
says goalie man Pat.
Okay, Andrew Baker, 2-1 Rising. Okay, Bandito's Blueberry going for chaos. 3-2 Rising. Arteaga with a hat trick and Rising down to 10 men.
Sounds about right.
My word.
Sounds about right.
I don't really
so they go 3-0 up, I'm guessing, and then Carlos Harvey gets sent off and it's backs to the wall.
Wait, what?
Conceding two.
No. We gotta have someone. We have someone new. It'll be Arteaga. He does the double celebration. The second one gets him the yellow card. The second yellow. Boom. He's off after scoring the hat trick, and then they're down to 10 men. It's the full crescendo.
He's doing a Jackson Conway.
Too soon.
No.
I know you're talking about that one when he was with Atlanta United, but also just too soon in general because of the last red card. It
Jackson Conway Fight Club.
We don't talk about
Elbow
Fight
Club.
We don't talk about Fight. Well, what?
What's the first rule of Fight Club?
That's what I'm saying. You don't talk about it. No, you don't talk. We don't need your. We're not being literal with your refereeing, sir. We're talking about the move. We don't talk. What's the first rule of Fight Club? Anyone?
It's Jackson Conway's Fight Club.
No, God.
It's Jackson Conway's
Chad,
Fight
help
Club.
us out here. We all know the first rule of Fight Club. Jacob referenced it without referencing it. That's it. We don't need to talk about it anymore as I hit the
Jackson
microphone.
Conway's Fight Club.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. It's going to be a very nervy one. We have our scores locked in for Saturday's match, but this is not the only match to watch. There's some other juicy ones on the USL Championship slate. And, I'm not in the business necessarily of picking games of the week, but if I had to, I actually did have one that caught my eye. And again, unconventional, but give me Charleston, San Antonio.
Interesting.
San Antonio on the road. Charleston, they've had a weird season as apparently everyone in the USL has, but I really want to test. I don't need to test the legitimacy of San Antonio. I want to see what their performance is on the road, sure, but this is a good test for Charleston. I want to see how it holds up, and again, kind of bolster that rising performance a bit.
I think it's the opposite way though here, because San Antonio in their last game got their first win in 5. Okay, in the league, they've had a rough run of form. Yes, they turned it around, but they were playing a Las Vegas Lights team. They were playing their second game in 3 days. It was like old school USL, right? Okay, they play Friday, Sunday. That's just uncivilized. I'm sorry. No one does that. No one does that in this sport anymore. Charleston have well and truly run away with the Eastern Conference the way they're playing over there. I mean, you look at it. I mean, they're 2 points ahead of Legion, but have a game in hand over Legion in second. Pittsburgh Birmingham that Michael Van Pass is
a good one.
Checking out there. I think that's a good game as well. That's actually the only two USL Championship sides that are left in the US Open Cup, and they are meeting in Pittsburgh this weekend. So yeah, I feel as though, look, I'm excited to see those two teams match it up. I'm intrigued what's going to happen there. I'm intrigued what's going to happen with both these two teams as they move on in the Open Cup, actually. Both of them were drawn at home. Birmingham Legion will also host their quarterfinal should it get there. As people continue to fight in the chat, apparently. Meanwhile, what else we got coming in the West here, Max, that you're looking for?
There's
not a lot to maybe grab the eye.
Yeah, I mean, this might be a stretch. I don't know. Maybe it's just like I want to see how Loyal keep doing, especially seeing if they've also had a super weird season, see if their medals tested. Loyal versus RGV. Again, I'm kind of grasping at straws here, but I want to see how that consistency builds for them.
I'd actually say that I think one of the games that I'm looking at here is Colorado Springs traveling away to Memphis. You look at Memphis, you look at the fact that they have not lost in the league in April, actually. They didn't lose on the weekend either. Now, they lost in the Cup in midweek, of course, but it's the Cup. It's midweek. It's weird. It's different. I'd be intrigued to see quite how they do, because Colorado Springs have taken us by surprise. We were not expecting Colorado Springs to ultimately go out there and challenge in the West in the way that they have, in the way that they have managed to do so. But they have done, nonetheless. Can they keep that going? Now, Memphis, of course, struggled early on. They've picked it up since. We'll see.
We shall see. No, it's
good. Gunnyman Pat here. MLS against Loyal. Most interesting matchup. They're getting ready for a fight. Fight.
Oh, man. Agent of Chaos, this one. No, it's
San Diego is going to be an interesting one. If that announcement comes, which we are, of course, expecting, the reporting out of San Diego is indeed that they will get an MLS team. San Diego Loyal putting out their statements. They are going nowhere. It's kind of the issue that American football has in just a kind of a perfect example of that, really. It's hard to really put your finger on how you fix this. I don't know.
Okay. Well, and honestly, this is something where we can probably do a very
can talk for hours
very
on this.
Deep dive on this.
Rumor has it that if you come to Valley Tap Room, Max will buy the beers and we'll sit there for hours and talk about it.
I mean, honestly, I would not mind at all having a nice discussion on it. But no, this, I guess my 2 cents on this one is we understand, right? It's shocker. The MLS, this is a money-driven move, wanting to bring in, the billionaire owners who are going to be backing this and really bolstering it that way. Now, the feel-good story, I suppose, would be, hey, you have a existing community, you're able to take them up, you're able to roll with something that's already been entrenched rather than already creating competition, I guess, within the local USL community. We have seen this go both ways before with MLS, and if there's a USL club, whether that's bringing the USL club up or essentially with the same ownership, different ownership, whatever, whether it's having an MLS and a USL club exist in the same city, region, it's a very complicated one. I guess the thing that comes down to me is it's just Loyal put out a statement. We're going to see how this goes. It's just too early to tell with everything, but it's just, I don't know, man. This is something where we all have a soft spot for this league and just how things go on. And goodness gracious, it's kind of tough. It's just tough to see these things sometimes.
I have to see. I mean, it's. Yeah. I know I tweeted about this last week. I stand by my comments I made there, which is that it's not necessarily a good thing for the longevity of the sport, despite what people in San Diego might think. Talking about things about how you've got all this stuff going on with, you want to get a top flight team in, you want to make sure that, that's good for the local, the sports scene locally and all of that. I don't think it's good, though, for the sports scene in terms of creating a particularly thriving second, third division kind of setup when you're looking at pretty much these teams existing to continue, building community only for others to swoop in and billionaires swoop in as soon as you've kind of built it there. And that's not, to me, conducive to building a good second or third division, which is important.
No, I completely agree, man. Like, it's, the altruistic sense, if we're looking to put a positive spin on this, is at the end of the day, everyone is trying to build community and, grow soccer in this country. And like, I do believe that whether you agree with MLS's approach, whether you are happy, sad about it, whatever, that is a genuine thing. However, we all know that it's certainly by no means the only thing, and it's probably, you could even probably make the argument, it's not even the leading thing. Like, this is a money-driven move. It's going to very much benefit the ownership. There's going to be many happy fans about it. There's going to be very upset fans about it. I guess it's just something that, especially it's in the neighboring state, it's something where it's just, I don't know, man. This won't be the first time we see something like this. Most likely won't be the last. Whether it's, and this is just something that's happening in this country. This is going to be happening, like different things all on a global perspective. But as I hit the microphone, but it's tough. It's just a weird thing to watch, I guess. That's where I keep coming back to.
It is.
Man, well, like I said, I can keep going about this. We can all keep going about this. We'll have a beer about it at sometime at the tap room or at the game.
You his true thoughts about Don Garber.
They want to hear your true thoughts, my guy. Appreciate you guys joining. I do want to shout out, we do have a lot of great events going on, especially within our PHNX family. We do have the Keeping It 100 golf tournament presented by Pins and Aces and Big Drive Energy coming up. That's Friday, May 26th in the morning. Scramble format. You get exclusive Pins and Aces polo at Dobson Ranch Golf Course. There's a link in the show notes to register. Thank you to all of our partners. You guys literally getting an individual or a foursome ticket. You're going to be walking away with a free polo, free drinks, free water, free booze, free food, free snacks, free giveaways, free prizes, free goodie bags. Literally all this stuff.
Free.
Literally all these amazing things. Again, check us out in the show notes. It's the morning of Friday, May 26th. Join me as literally we start the booze train in the morning and then we carry that on into Rising's match against Las Vegas Lights
mess
later that evening. I won't be a mess. When am I a mess? Come on, me.
Whenever you have to do an ad transition.
You love that.
No, you love that.
No, but check that out. Always have great stuff coming up. We appreciate you guys joining us. Mr. Owen Evans, before we sign off, is there anything else we missed for the people? You want to give a message to the people?
Yeah. It's okay, everyone. Spurs are still bad.
No, what?
There they are.
No. We have a great match against Aston Villa. We are gunning for the Europa League. Maybe the Europa Conference League.
You're going for the Europa Conference League.
Yeah, baby.
Whoa, big time, man.
Yeah, baby. How dare you? Well, we appreciate you guys joining us in the chat. Again, you can follow.
So Villa could actually.
No, just stop it.
Don't. They could actually leapfrog you there.
No. We're not. No leapfrogging. There ain't no poga sticking here. Mikey, all love. Well, easy for you to say, buddy. You're in fourth place for now. But hey, thank you guys for joining us. You can follow us on Twitter at PHNX__Rising because double the underscore. Double the fun. You can follow this guy at OJ Evans 18 on Twitter. You can follow me at Max David Simpson. You can follow producer Jacob at Jacob Franklin.
Jacob underscore Franklin.
I knew it. Jacob underscore Franklin on Twitter. And until we catch you guys Saturday post-match, what are you looking at me for? What?
You still got it wrong.
What did you say?
Jacob underscore Franklin 4.
I did say 4.
Man, can't even advertise.
Okay.
He forgot the 4. He did. He can't even advertise. Adman, you are less.
We're landing the plane. We're putting the plane in the garage. I'm over this. We will see you guys.
Planes don't park in garages, Max.
They're in a hangar. That's the same.
It's a hangar. It's not the same thing.
Land the damn plane.
It's the garage of the sky.
We'll see you at 38th Street in Washington on Saturday, where they will be landing planes next door.
Nice transition, laters.